Hey guys, did you know that in 2024 it is projected that over 1.4 million jobs are going to require programmer skills? Quite frankly, that's a staggering number, and I think it is going to be better than ever to learn and master programming now more than ever. And in that case, if you are one of the people who would like to join the community of programmers, or you would just like to get more serious and level up your skills, this video is going to be your best pal, because today we will be talking about the best resources out there for learning to code in 2024. Greetings, dear friends, fellow programmers, and those aspiring to be. Welcome back to Marko Code Academy, a place where we are learning and growing together as professionals and programmers. As you already heard, if you are looking for ways to sharpen your programming skills or to join the ranks of programmers from scratch, this video is going to be an amazing asset for you. That is because the tech industry is evolving every single second of every single day, and things are happening really fast, and the dynamics are dictating the fact that it's very tough to be able to figure out what resources are good enough to learn a specific programming language or to master specific aspects of programming languages. Which is why I think it's very important to be able to figure out and find the best pal in form of a course, book, or anything else in the sea of options available to us. That is exactly why today we will be covering and going through the best resources for mastering programming in 2024. Of course, in my personal experience. So, let's jump right in. We're going to get started with the big one. Nowadays, courses are bigger than ever. Most people prefer learning in the video format, and that is why there are so many different platforms for online learning nowadays. But which ones are worth your while and your hard-earned money? That is the right question. In my personal experience, Pluralsight is my go-to choice. It is the highest quality of courses in a single place where you pay just a single fee for a yearly subscription and you get the access to all the courses from their library. And trust me when I say this, their library is huge. Plus, they offer skill assessments in most of their courses, so you can get a piece of paper that is going to be proof that you went through the thick and thin of the course you just finished. But there is a downside. I have to say that Pluralsight is on the pricier side because their yearly subscription is the only choice you have at your disposal. And basically, if you do not intend to spend real time into learning, you will just be throwing a lot of money away. And you don't want to do that. On the other hand, if you are ready and dedicated to go through the pains and struggles and really invest a lot of time into learning from the platform, that would be the best money spent ever. Trust me, your career will skyrocket for sure, because there is a lot of very quality courses there. And also what makes this platform so great is the fact that they have very rigorous policy about people who can put out their courses on the platform. They really ensure that courses are top-notch and presenters are really well educated and true professionals of their fields. On the flip side, if you enjoy academic-like type of learning, in that case, websites and platforms like Coursera or EDX are going to be your best pals. Those are the platforms where I was getting started when I started learning to code, because there are so many courses from top-notch universities on different computer science courses and topics. And also, most of them are free. So you can go through the curriculum without paying anything. Only if you want to get a certificate in the end, you should spend some money. But in the end of the day, you care about the knowledge, and that is what is going to be only thing important to recruiters. And also, it would be really tough not to mention Udemy, because it's probably the platform where you can find the most courses. But that comes with a downside. The quality of courses can be substantially lower than on other mentioned platforms. So you have to be really careful, read through the reviews left by other people who enrolled into that course, and also a pro tip, please take a look at the sales. When they have sales, you can find courses for dirt cheap, like a few bucks, and that is the best investment you can make and get access for lifetime to courses they are offering. I'm using this platform usually for something very specific that cannot be found very easily, but because of the fact that there are so many courses on Udemy, usually you can find them there. And the quality may not be the best, but you can find a lot of very useful stuff there. Now, let's talk about books. Yeah, I'm talking about those old things that are using ink and paper to pass along the knowledge. You remember those, right? Well, I have to say that books are an amazing opportunity for you to take a deep dive into certain topics. If you want to truly master something, I think there is no comparison between courses and books. Books are way more packed with value, with core understanding about concepts when compared to courses. So if you are a type of person who likes learning slowly but surely and master everything in depth, this is your best pick. I have to mention some of my all-time favorites when it comes to books. I'm talking about Domain-Driven Design by Eric Evans. I'm talking about Clean Code by Robert Martin. Also, there is The Pragmatic Programmer. And if you would like to learn JavaScript, I have not found a better resource than the You Don't Know JavaScript series. But there is one pro tip you have to be very careful about. You have to be aware that books are being sold for years, even decades after they've been published. And it's very easy to purchase a book that is completely 100% irrelevant because it was ran over by time. And basically everything that was covered in it, of course, except if we're talking about the general concepts, it's probably best to be sure that you're picking up the latest version that is not older than a few months or years, because technology is changing really rapidly. So make sure that the version of the programming language you're looking for is exactly the same like the current version before purchasing a book. Alright, it's time to talk about Wild West of programming resources. I'm talking about blog posts, free tutorials, and a lot of YouTube content. Those can contain a lot of garbage, a lot of completely useless or plain wrong information that is being presented to you as the best way to go. Because some people are making content just for the purpose of making content. And now with the power of AI, it's been more difficult than ever to find resources that are really quality content. Because people can just push out a lot more content if they're just making it willy-nilly, without the actual effort and due diligence necessary to make something really experience-based that they are using in their day-to-day life. And of course, after investing years of hard effort into their growth and collecting experience. Now, for the experienced developers, this can be a pain in the ass. But for beginners, it can be the complete downfall, because beginners do not have enough context to be able to know and distinguish good from bad, while on the other hand, experienced developers can figure out on their own whether something is completely opposite to what is actually a good point, and they can just disregard certain parts, while beginners just cannot do that. So, if you're a beginner, you have to be extremely careful to observe and consume only content that was really praised as great by other people, and you can see the reviews, and you can see that people are really praising their content as great and relevant and true, and then you can decide to follow those people. And finally, what I want you to take out of this is to be very aware of the issues that arise from copying and pasting the code. I was the first person who was doing that a lot. When I was preparing my portfolio applications and games before landing my first job, I was going through so many sources of people building games, and I was trying to reproduce it, and then when I would get stuck, I would just copy and paste the code from Stack Overflow, from platforms, from different people, and when something would not work, I would get annoyed so much. I would waste days trying to figure out how something works, because it's not something I understood when I copied and pasted it. So when I encountered issues with the code, I was completely unable to fix the problem because I had no idea what's happening under the hood. So there were so many projects that I had to disregard and throw into the trash bin because I was unable to fix the issues that I stumbled upon along the way of building them. So I really want you not to make the same mistake as I did. It's terrible practice to do it. It is something you must spend and invest time and energy into understanding the piece of code, or even now you have ChatGPT and other tools where you can paste the code and ask it to explain what is happening and how it's working. So you can utilize that into your advantage. But please do not willy-nilly copy and paste the code without knowing what it does. If you are a type of person that is learning the best by doing stuff in action and applying the theoretical stuff that we learned in action, then these platforms are your best pals, because there you can actually do stuff and apply things that you've heard about in theory in real life and in action. Sites like LeetCode, CodingBet, HackerRank, and CodeWars are just a few of the best and most well-known websites for doing exactly that. That is where you can prepare for the interviews. You have a gazillion different options to play around with different tasks, with different difficulties, and most of them will offer you help, hints, and entire solutions to problems on the platform itself. So you will know exactly when your solution is working just partially, or when there are some edge cases that you are not passing, or that there is a way for you to improve your solution. And yes, every time when I was preparing for a job interview, when I was looking for a job, I would invest a few days at least to play around on those platforms and solve as many problems as I possibly could. Now, do not get me wrong, I would not become smarter by doing that, but it would become easier for you and your brain would become more adjusted to solving those types of problems that you will encounter on job interviews. It would take a lot more time for me to solve a problem when I was well prepared and I was training for that type of tasks than when I would not prepare at all. I would still be able to solve the problem, but it would take a lot more time than when I would prepare for the interview. So, and when you think about it, that is crucial on interviews, because you will feel anxious on the interview and your clarity might drop, so you want to have the feeling that you are awesome and that the task you received is something you already know for sure how to solve. So you will feel more confident and you will be able to solve the issue more quickly. And I don't want to miss out on one of the first platforms that I was using when I was learning to code. I'm talking about W3 Schools. That is a platform where I was learning all the web technologies. I'm talking about HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, also some SQL. And I was mastering the basics about those languages and markups on this platform, and you will be able to learn the theoretical part and immediately apply what you learned in action and see if it's not working and see what are the actual results of the code you wrote on the right side of your screen immediately, which is awesome. let's not forget the power of communities. Learning to code can be a really lonely journey if you are doing it all alone. But it doesn't have to be. You can join forums like Stack Overflow or Reddit and join communities that are dedicated to things you are trying to master at that point, and you will basically have a lot of peers or more experienced professionals who can certainly push you in the right direction when you stumble upon a problem, and you can also feel as a part of a community while learning, and that is going to help you always be motivated to keep going and never quit. And of course, if you're more of a face-to-face type of person, you can attend meetups or you can join online webinars or something like that that are dedicated to the stuff you are interested in. But just another pro tip here. If you are asking a question about a problem that you've encountered in your learning path, please do not be one of the people who stumbles upon a problem, doesn't try to solve it themselves, and immediately reaches out to people on Stack Overflow or Reddit with the problem they encountered, and they have zero context about it. They tried zero potential solutions, and they're crying about, and then they're reaching out to other people, bothering them with things that they might have been able to solve themselves. So, as a friendly suggestion, please don't be that type of a person. Do your due diligence, try to solve the problem, because when you do manage to solve it, trust me, you will feel amazing. Unfortunately, not everything you find on the internet is trustworthy or true. Some tutorials are outdated, some are poorly written, and some are plain wrong and misleading. So you definitely want to, as we already mentioned, do your due diligence, do the investigation, make sure that people are saying good stuff about the course that you are interested in, or about the book, or about whatever, and that you're taking information from people who presented themselves as true professionals in their respective fields. And also, in today's day and age, where everything is immediately available, when something sounds too good to be true, you can basically be 100% sure that it is too good to be true. If somebody is promising that you can become a senior developer within 2 months, trust me when I say this, no matter how smart you are, which I'm sure you are, you will not be able to do it. You might be able to do it not in 5, but in 3 years if you're really smart and hardworking, but you cannot do it within a few months. It's impossible. So please be aware and prepared for those kinds of con artists. And to wrap it all up, we've covered a lot of exceptional information and the ways how you can learn and become a better developer in 2024. And I hope you found and learned ways and useful information about approach you should have when you are looking for resources for learning and improving your current knowledge in any area of expertise. And remember, leveraging these tools that we covered in this video will be a game changer for you. You will never again spend time or money learning from untrustworthy source, or buy a course that is just poor quality, or learn from materials that are outdated. If you watch this video and really learn something from it, let it be that you will do your due diligence and only take advice from trusted professionals who've shown and proved themselves as somebody who you can trust. Now, I would like to hear from you. I would like you to leave a comment in the comment section of this video about your favorite resources for learning and your favorite approaches to learning. Maybe I can learn something from you as well. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, do not forget to subscribe to the channel and turn the notifications on. And that way you will not miss a single upload that is coming your way in the future. Thank you for watching and have an amazing day. Happy coding!